There are blank spaces on our maps. Even today, in an age of satellites and global connectivity, there are places so remote, so impenetrable, that they remain untouched by the modern world. The Mosquitia rainforest in Honduras is one such place. A vast green ocean of jungle, ruled by venomous snakes, prowling jaguars, and clouds of biting insects. For 500 years, it has guarded a secret, a legend, a whisper of a lost city of immense wealth, a white city built by a civilization that vanished without a trace. Conquistadors, pirates, and adventurers have searched for it, and many have died trying. Most modern scholars dismissed it as a myth, but the legends were true. And when modern technology finally peeled back the jungle canopy to reveal this lost world, the explorers who dared to enter it discovered that the legends of a curse were also horrifyingly real. This is the story of a modern discovery, an ancient mystery, and the terrible price of uncovering a secret that nature wanted to keep buried. The legend of the Ciudad Blanca, the White City, begins with the conquerors. In 1526, the conquistador Hernán Cortés, fresh from his brutal conquest of the Aztec Empire, wrote to the King of Spain about a province in Honduras that was, according to his native informants, exceedingly rich. He never found it. Decades later, another report spoke of a city where the people ate from plates of pure gold. The legend grew, taking on a life of its own. It became a Central American El Dorado, a mythical paradise of untold wealth. But it was also a place of fear. The legends warned that the city was protected by the gods, and that anyone who dared to enter would be struck down by disease and death. For centuries, the story remained just that, a story. A tantalizing myth that lured adventurers into the green hell of the Mosquitia, a jungle so dense it was known as the Mosquito Coast. Many went in, few came out. The jungle, with its deadly fer-de-lance snakes, its disease-carrying insects, and its disorienting vastness, was a perfect guardian of secrets. The story jumps forward to the 21st century. A documentary filmmaker named Steve Elkins becomes obsessed with the legend, but he has a tool that Cortés could never have dreamed of: LiDAR. It stands for light detection and ranging. It is a revolutionary technology where a plane, flying high above the jungle, fires billions of laser pulses towards the ground. These lasers can penetrate the thick jungle canopy, mapping the precise contours of the earth hidden beneath. In 2012, Elkins and a team of scientists flew a plane over the target area. For days, they scanned the impenetrable green carpet. When they processed the data, they were stunned. There, on their computer screens, was a ghost. The ghostly, unmistakable outline of a man-made city. A city with plazas, pyramids, canals, and residential compounds, all perfectly preserved beneath the jungle. The legend was true. The White City, or at least one of them, was real. The world was electrified by the news. But seeing a city on a computer screen is one thing. Setting foot in it is another. In 2015, a joint American-Honduran expedition was assembled. It was a team of archaeologists, anthropologists, scientists, and a film crew protected by a unit of Honduran Special Forces. The only way in was by helicopter. They were dropped into a tiny clearing, a place so remote that the animals had never seen humans before. They were in a world that time had forgotten. The moment they stepped into the jungle, they understood the danger. The forest floor was a writhing carpet of deadly snakes. The air was thick with insects. This was a primeval world, and they were intruders. Guided by the LiDAR map, they hacked their way through the dense undergrowth. And then they saw it. The first sign, a series of massive man-made earthworks, the remains of pyramids and plazas, all covered in a thick blanket of earth and trees. They had found it. They had reached the lost city. They gave it a new name, the City of the Jaguar, after a stunning discovery made at the base of a pyramid. There, half buried in the earth, was a cache of over 500 stone objects, left as an offering at the city's center. And at the heart of this cache was a remarkable effigy, a word jaguar, a shamanic figure in a state of transformation, half human, half jaguar. Unlike the Maya or the Aztec, this was a civilization no one had ever seen before, a completely unknown culture. And most remarkably, the site had never been looted. The offering was left exactly as its creators had placed it, centuries ago. But as the team celebrated their incredible discovery, a silent, invisible predator was hunting them. The sandflies, tiny, almost unnoticeable insects that swarmed them day and night. The team was well prepared with insect repellent, but it was impossible to avoid being bitten. They finished their initial survey, documented the incredible find, and were airlifted out of the jungle, triumphant. It was only weeks later, back in civilization, that the jungle's curse began to reveal itself. It started with a small, pimple-like sore on the face of one of the team members. Then another, and another. The sores wouldn't heal. Instead, they grew, opening into weeping, crater-like lesions. The team members were horrified. They sought medical help, and the diagnosis was terrifying. They had been infected with leishmaniasis, a parasitic disease transmitted by the bite of the sandfly. It is a horrifying disease. The parasite migrates to the mucous membranes of the nose and mouth and begins to eat them away. If left untreated, it will literally eat away a person's face, eventually leading to a slow, agonizing death. There is no vaccine. The treatment is a brutal, month-long regimen of heavy metal-based drugs with debilitating side effects. More than half of the expedition team had been infected. The ancient legends of a sickness that would strike down any who entered the city were not a myth. They were a folk memory, a warning passed down through generations. The curse was real. The discovery of the disease provided a chilling answer to the city's greatest mystery. Why was it abandoned? The city was not destroyed by war. It was not abandoned due to famine. The evidence suggests that the people left in a hurry, leaving their most sacred objects behind as a final offering. It's now believed that the civilization that built this city was wiped out by the very diseases that the jungle harbored. European diseases like smallpox and measles, for which the native peoples had no immunity, are known to have swept through the Americas after Columbus, killing up to 90% of the indigenous population. It's likely that these new, terrifying diseases reached this isolated community, creating an apocalypse that forced the survivors to flee, leaving their city to be swallowed by the jungle. The jungle that had nurtured them had become their tomb. The story of the lost city of the Jaguar is a profound and humbling one. It is a testament to the courage of modern explorers and the power of technology to reveal the secrets of the past. But it is also a stark warning. It reminds us that some places are left untouched for a reason. They are not empty. They are reservoirs of a nature that is indifferent to human ambition. The city was not lost. It was quarantined, protected by a biological fortress that had guarded it for 500 years. The explorers who found it paid a heavy price for their discovery, a price that is still being paid by some of them today. Their story is a powerful reminder that the greatest treasures of history are often protected by the greatest dangers, and that sometimes, when you stare into the abyss of the past, the abyss stares back